here I'm Dave Clark, EVP Growth Advisory at Media.Monks. How many parents do we have in the audience today? I'm a parent as well, 3 young daughters, and if everything goes with supporting the plan, which it rarely does, I will be an empty nester in about 10.5 years. Why am I sharing this very specific piece of information? Because you can stand out from the crowd when you leverage specificity. So George and Lauren are going to unpack that a bit more, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi everybody, I'm Lauren West. I am the head of creative marketing at Opendoor, which is, if you're not familiar, an online real estate platform.
Hey guys, so I'm Jorge. I always go by George, and it's what city I'm in. Today it's kind of weird. George, but in Miami, should be wondering. VP, ECD, Executive Creative Director at Alma here in Miami, Grove. Lead the NorCal, McDonald's, Doors, as well as we have our managing director, Anna, here too.
That's awesome. So why don't you share how the two organizations started working together? Kind of a corporate dating story, if you will.
Romantic.
It was actually all Anna. Anna joined us about a year ago, and she was good friends in a previous agency at Opendoor with Dave Lawrence, CMO at Opendoor. And they were talking, and eventually we got invited to show our creds. So what we do at Alma is just show her work and try to see the chemistry is right, which is important. We also come in with what we call what ifs, little strategic ideas that amazing planner, according to Cetera, just got named at IHS, which is kind of the year. He came in with like 3 different ideas, and one of them was something you guys actually were thinking about.
Yeah, it was, my first presentation with you guys, and all of them, I find myself smiling because there's always a simple insight that leads to a little what-if creative thought provocation. And what they brought to us was something that we were uncovering internally. Housing, real estate it's been a challenging couple of years post-COVID. And we were looking at data at that point that told us while moving was down, it was very, very slow, it was a slog of a year. But there was this niche audience of just age 55 plus. Those were the people that were moving. And while it was small and specific, they brought us that same insight that this is actually a real great opportunity to go after this group, and specifically the empty nesters, your future. This is a pitch as well. So that's why it was just like this light bulb moment, because it was something that we had uncovered on our end, what they brought to us with some creative thought provocations, and it was just, let's go do this.
And it's funny because every group we get nowadays, it's all like, go to Gen Z, it's like Gen Z, Alpha, right? All of a sudden we have this brief to talk to 55 plus. So I look at my young creators and, oh my beard. We have this one. So it was cool. It's a totally different market, talking to the segment we had to talk to them all the time. And a category that us at Alma had worked on, which was very exciting for us.
Yeah, and it was, as a newer brand, one that's supposed to be, we're modern, we're a digital platform, and we need to be for digital savvy folks. It wasn't an instant like, we should go after this right away from just like what's the traditional playbook for real estate, but that's what made it also so interesting and such a creative challenge in order to stand out, was be the one that would go after this audience.
Jorge, is there anything else you want to share about the insight before we show the work?
Well, the insight immediately, creatively, was really, really powerful, because we definitely at Alma go very specific into each target and see what's happening in their world, what moves them, makes them laugh, makes them cry, makes them think. And 55 plus was interesting, this moment in life, which I'm almost there, a few more years. It's very emotional, so we had a lot of fun with that. We came up with a bunch of ideas, about 7, 8.
You did, yeah. Yeah, I think we can, which one are we playing first? Are we going Nest?
I think so. We're going to show, so this first idea, talking about empty nesters, the first idea that popped up, and rarely the first idea is any good, but this one was the excitement. We're thinking, all right, empty nesters, nests, maybe parents can even nest too, so we came up with this idea.
Is someone clipping someone?
Someone is right.
We have no engineer.
The white one. I can go.
Maybe it's my job.
We're gonna act it out, I think.
Here. No.
Don't worry.
All right, we're used to it. Every meeting we have.
I know,
No
right?
matter where.
Yeah, sure. So Lauren, what does a challenger brand like Opendoor look for in an agency partner? How did that dating analogy? Why does
Yeah.
the brand fit with Alma?
Yeah, with Opendoor, brand awareness is so important for us because people are not buying houses every day, every week. They're buying and selling their house every 10 years. And the last couple of years, it's actually increased. So people are not moving based on market conditions, based on inflation, based on an election coming up. So we seek creative partners who help us find moments of relevance, similar to what we were talking about in the Duracell meeting just before this, but moments of relevance and figuring out, seasons to move and creating our own kind of patterns because we work with culture. We work with, if there's seasons like engagement time, if there is seasons like wedding time, those are triggers for people to move and we insert ourselves in there. So we were kind of creating this empty nester season with Alma with that insight that they brought them. So I look for partners who can be flexible, who can move as fast as culture, who are nimble. It takes a certain kind of crazy to be a brand marketer in real estate because the market does change, it does slog. You have to be optimistic at times. So creative partners who match that level of crazy of bringing ideas and working with the speed of culture. The Alma team, after we were pitched that work, we made it in a matter of like a month and a half. Yeah. So yeah, that speed and that nimbleness is critical for us.
Plus they're a challenger brand, right? So they need to be moving fast, they need to produce fast and think fast. And we love that at Alma because we also are a challenger brand. We're like a mid-sized agency, started as multicultural, do more general market work. And the ones that we love working on are ones like Opendoor, where they come from a creative background as well, so they understand creative effectiveness really, really drives business. So they're open to all these great ideas, not just TV, great radio, but brand acts.
Yeah. All of our plans have to be written in pencil. We know some things that we want to do, but if the market moves a certain way, if sentiment changes, if new laws in real estate become enacted, we go after something that we see, we see the heat there, so we have to have that flexibility, and it makes it fun.
That makes sense. Talking about cultural relevance, there's kind of a tie-in throughout the campaign with The Bachelor. Maybe you could unpack that a bit.
Yeah. This is so we've invested traditional media in The Bachelor just because our audience is obsessed with Bachelor Nation, like so many people are. And so the campaign that we did with Alma, one of them, our Easier to Downsize campaign, when we first started doing this work for 55 plus, we were finding contextual media moments to insert the work. So it's this creative first that inspires media. So we went after something that was brand new last year, and it was the Golden Bachelor franchise, which touched millions and millions of hearts as you watch this endearing 55 plus couple find love. So yeah, we put our spot on programming there. We invested in the Golden Bachelor wedding. We saw conversion double throughout the season, 6 times during the Golden Bachelor finale. So finding that contextual relevance and that right media moment was, just nails for us.
That's amazing. And what's next for kind of the continuation of the campaign and of this audience isn't going anywhere. For any of the young parents, you're looking at your future in terms of downsizing.
There's always going to be reasons to move for 55 plus and beyond.
Yeah.
So what's next for Opendoor, what's next for Opendoor plus Alma is continuing to find those seasonal moments, those seasonal reasons to move, to create just those provocative, awareness driving, brand building. We really tap into emotional storytelling because while the transaction of selling a house is so financially based, there's so much stress involved there. Just sparking some emotion and bringing some storytelling with, how we appeal to that audience is huge.
So while we wait for the video, I'll describe it a little bit. So the first idea we brought was a giant nest. We figured Parents' Weekend is a great time where parents are in that mindset, right? The kids are going away, they're going to have as soon. So we went to UCLA during their parents' weekend, and we went to the Rose Bowl. They were having a game there, and the parents were going there. And we created this giant nest, hopefully you can see, about the size of the three of us, a little bit more. And it was huge. It was huge. We put it right in front of the Rose Bowl. Parents were going by, they saw it. What the hell is this? We had a sign that said, for sale sign that said the parents can leave the nest too. They would come in, we had creating content, interviewing them. And what we thought was kind of just a fun idea, just to get the message across. It turns into very emotional piece of content. Because the parents started talking about it, where half of them started crying, talking about the kids leaving, about what's next in their life. The moms more than the dad, the dad getting really emotional. And even on set, the video village, some of us were.
Single tear.
The emotion kind of surprised us, right? Like, it was such a visual was so provocative, different. It was supposed to, just spark a little bit of conversation, and it went sentimental really fast,
It did. It created a piece of content that we hadn't really anticipated. It was so emotional.
Yeah, and who was there? We had anybody from a Dance Moms fan. There was, somebody we invited her and her daughter. She's a student at UCLA, so we had this opportunity to, connect the mother and daughter story, and they ran their influencer concept with that visit, which was awesome. You got a thumbs up?
Yeah, sorry.
All
Got a
good?
video. Alright. I just have to get
That whole thing was just a teaser campaign for the graduation.
So this is the easier to download campaign, which came first.
Yes. The legal disclaimer is my favorite part because it calls out that is in fact
Go
fake.
back and play again, you see the disclaimers.
Yeah.
So we made it to stats, right? And legal was not happy. So we had some fun with the disclaimer. 100% of these stats will lead up to the super really good one.
People love commenting on that on Facebook too. When they find out it's legal, yeah, it's a great conversation starter. And that pottery one is the one that killed it during Golden Bachelor, obviously.
This is that giant nest that Jorge was explaining.
Can we start over from the beginning?
Is that audio?
Yes.
It was a mixed feeling because here I was happy for them going off and doing their thing. But then again,
Get that last kiss, and then him just walking. I couldn't move or leave or nothing until he was out of my sight.
I just didn't want him to go. And then when he got on that airplane, I said to him, I'm about to cry now, for real. That's real.
so I'm in this home all by myself and I don't know what to do anymore. Who do I cook for? Who do I clean for? It's hard.
At first, I was really sad, and then we started realizing kind of the joys of it.
Like, we don't need a shrine to the past.
I don't miss the stinky laundry, to be honest with you. Freedom. Freedom to do whatever, go to bed whenever, get up whenever.
Don't need to put a second door. Matter of fact, don't need to close the door.
We raised 4 kids. Now it's our time.
We thought about it quite a few times, leaving the nest.
A little cottage by the beach.
Maybe be in a beautiful condo.
Now all of a sudden we're realizing our potential.
When you downsize, it just saves you a lot of time and money. If I had to do it again, I'd get him out there. Get out to next. I'd be in Hawaii.
There you go. That definitely was great. So parents, if you have a couple minutes before lunch, call your kids, tell them you love them, and then start to think about listing your current property on Opendoor.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think rewatching that, it's just like, what it does is it gives parents permission to, accept their next chapter. And I don't think that this conversation of letting empty nesting parents do that is one that's prevalent and out there in culture. And this work really does inspire that. And there's so many reasons to hold somebody back from moving, emotionally, obviously with that, financially, with mortgage rates what they are. And this type of work really does inspire people. If you're creating that next chapter in your life, what's next for you, we say hell yeah.
Amazing. Any questions of Lauren? Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. That video was like super awesome, and like as a parent, I only have a 7-year-old, so like I'm counting days. So, but like I'm curious to know, like when you was creating that, it's very emotional, right? But like none of our jobs would exist without ROI. So how do you prioritize striking that emotion, but still tying it back to it?
Yeah, it's a great question. And when in real estate, like I said, people are only moving every 10 years, right? So a lot of our brand work is right now really built on driving awareness, earned impressions. This is what this work is attributed to. Ultimately, what we want people to do, Opendoor, when you get a little bit down the funnel into our system, how we measure ROI is if they go to our site and they start entering some info, because literally with Opendoor, it takes several minutes to get a real offer on your home. So that simplicity, that ease that you feel in the creative brand side, it tracks down to what's the product experience. So that's what we're measuring. Somebody just takes a little bit of interest in us and they just get some information, they get an offer on their house, they don't have to sell it right there. That's not what we expect out of this work, because that would kind of be insane if somebody sells their house on the spot after watching that video, right? But that's how we measure it. It's just a little bit of intrigue, and then we get them aware of us so that we're in the consideration set. So within the 10-year period that they're ready to sell, they think of us.
Any other questions at all? All good. Oh, go ahead. No, go for it.
So what exactly is considered a conversion?
Sold house. That you can sell your house to Opendoor. So if you get an offer on your house in minutes, you could sell your house in a matter of days. So typically it takes months, a long time to sell your house. If anybody has done it, it's a ton of hassle, ton of time. So converting to Opendoor means that you're selling to us, and you can do that within 14 days.
Now, with the spot that you all created, are you guys planning to reuse that or repurpose or?
Well, yeah, empty nesting season is coming up in the fall, right? Yeah, we were talking about this last night and this morning, what we want to do next.
Yeah, Nest 2.0 is coming
Nest
soon.
2.0, Nest
Very
2.0,
soon.
yeah. This was around Parents Weekend. Next year we were thinking about, what about move-in weekend, when they're actually getting them out of the house and, the parents are getting in the car alone to go home. There's more opportunities to do that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Formula One is relied more and more on content creators to kind of help tell the story of their brand. And when you tap into things that are on air now or what you see coming out of social media, how useful is that to you in your creative work and in your branding work?
You want to go first?
At the agency, we have a whole team of content creators that are constantly working on things. We have a QuickBooks Global account, so they're creating like 500 pieces in, I think, next month. But that's huge. Content creators is, the hot thing right now. So we have to go all in. It's interesting because everything's changing so fast right now with AI and everything. The agency has to pivot and it has to, accept and learn how to, kind of rethink how they do their job, especially, the older creatives, right, that grew up with TV and radio and everything. So we're hiring a lot of pure content creators to not just come up with content, but also the more traditional stuff too.
And what I love is in that model, and we haven't done it yet, but I want to do it. But taking something from a content creator that's seemingly like feels on the surface like just a social idea, but turning that into a broad campaign, taking the insight that's working there, because it's like stifling us and siloing us by channels is not how we should be operating. So if there's something really sparking on social for a certain reason, that can turn into a TV campaign.
It's an exciting time to be a creator right now because we have so many tools at our disposal. And we can play with content, we can do things with AI, we can do traditional that turns into content and vice versa. So right now it's almost like too many tools to play, too many toys in the chest, but it's exciting.
So pivoting off of the AI conversation, what kind of AI are you guys using and what tools are you leveraging?
There are the tools we're allowed to use by legal, and then the tools that we go rogue and Mid-Journey and things like that, and ChatGPT. Our planner's obsessed with ChatGPT. AI, like I said, is a great tool right now. I think of it as, I teach at the Miami Ad School, and I think of it as like a first quarter ad student, right? He's coming in with ideas. They're not very good yet, but there's potential, and we use it almost like inspiration, right? They come up with these scenarios, okay, that's kind of basic or kind of too generic, but there might be something there that we pull out of there. But then also on more practical levels, helping us save a lot of time creating mock-ups, creating like the radios we showed you was pure AI voice. So it's great right now. It's helping our job to do all the minutia stuff faster that a copywriter doesn't want to spend doing 20 versions of a banner ad. AI can take care of that. And we can focus on the bigger things, the concepts, the big ideas, the presentations.
Especially in that first round creative reveal when you're selling a big idea and you want to visualize it and that your client may need to, because it is a big idea that takes a big budget, may need to circulate that internally. If you have that comp that that the team just whipped up because the idea happened overnight, that helps so much.
Yeah, and back in the day you'd have to Photoshop a comp of some wild idea that you can't just find, But now with AI you can just make it in a day. So it helps a lot.
Yeah, that agility and that nimbleness. If anybody wants to geek out to AI over drinks later on, just let me know.
Yeah, this is your guy.
But yeah, exactly. All good. One more question. Yeah, go ahead.
What does your influencer strategy look like and how have you seen success with it?
I can take this, yeah. Like I said, we had an influencer who came to that nest. It was, the dance mom and daughter. Our influencer strategy also does rely on these seasonal reasons to move, these seasons to move. So what we're doing is finding, we're carving out budget focus, scaling how much are we investing in these moments. Another one that we just did recently during the NFL draft, which for athletes, and this is a more aspirational time, of course, but that's the biggest day to move, and we can work with athletes, professional players as well to talk about this big time. So influencers to tell the story and really humanize the experience because our product is a tech product. It is super emotional as well. So when we work with influencers, that helps kind of humanize the experience, show that somebody else can really use that app really easily. And we go after creators, influencers who are at those pivotal times in their life when they are needing to move, having a baby, getting engaged, getting divorced even, So we tap into those life stages and let them just tell their story as it is and introduce Opendoor as the solution to get them to their next chapter.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Lauren and George and Jorge, both of your
Monikers.
monikers.
Gracias. Thank you.
And thanks, everybody. That was a great morning session. I think we're off to lunch now.
We're off to lunch.
Thank you.
That was awesome, guys. You made me cry.